Hey guys, Magnus here, bringing you another Walking Dead comic book character video. Today we are doing the wife, mother and OG Atlanta camp survivor, Donna. Donna is of course female, she is 40 years old and she first appeared in issue 3. Before the outbreak, Donna was born in a Christian home in 1963. She lived in Gainesville and she eventually met her husband Alan, a shoe salesman who ran a store in the mall. The two soon had twins, Ben and Billy, and Donna presumably was a stay-at-home mom. Just before the outbreak, the family had ran up a large amount of debt and they had a car that barely started. When the outbreak began, the family headed to Atlanta, but they were late and got stuck on the road. They were driving when their car broke down and luckily they found Dale, Andrea, Amy and Glenn had already set up camp at just outside of Atlanta, so they joined that group. In Volume 1, Donna meets Rick with her two sons Ben and Billy. She comments that this is the best news she's heard and pulls Shane away so Laurie and Rick can have their moment. Donna, Carol and Laurie go to do laundry duty and she tells Amy not to swear in front of the kids. They head off to do the laundry and Donna tells Carol and Laurie to stop when they're getting excited about a new laundry detergent. Donna complains that the women are forced to do laundry whilst the men hunt, but Laurie argues they are just applying their skills where needed. Laurie and Donna wash clothes and Carol watches the kids. Donna asks Laurie how she met Rick and Laurie tells her the tale. They then return to the camp after washing the clothes. As they walk back, a zombie walks behind them. The other women run and Donna screams as the zombie tries to grab her. Alan shouts to her to move, but Dale comes to her rescue, chopping the zombie's head off. Donna tells Dale he saved her life and she embraces Alan as she sees the head is still alive. Alan puts the head down and Rick and Shane come running back to the camp as Donna and Alan embrace after their close call. Donna takes part in practice shooting and she comments on Dale, Andrea and Amy's cohabiting, complaining it's unchristian. Laurie says so as being judgmental and she storms off, a bit mad. At the campfire, Donna listens to everybody's stories and about what they did and Donna and Alan share theirs. Amy goes off to pee and Donna watches in horror as Amy is bitten by a zombie. Donna is with her sons and she tries to run to the RV but they get cut off by walkers, but Carl saves them and then Alan helps protect his wife and kids. After the chaos is over, she sees Jim's bite. Donna attends Amy's funeral and says although they didn't get along, Donna loved her as well as everybody at the camp. Donna looks after Jim in the tent and she's hopeful that he won't turn. Donna and Alan discuss Jim and they both try to be optimistic. She visits Jim again and he tells her that he wants to be left to turn. The group grant his request and leave him to die by a tree. Donna watches Rick and Shane fight in horror as they both storm into the woods. In Volume 2, she attends Shane's funeral after Carl kills him. The camp then decide to leave as a group in search of a better shelter. They cramp into the RV and set off. One snowy night whilst moving cars, the group meet Tyrese, his daughter Julie, and her boyfriend Chris, who join the group. The group head off looking for a place to stay, and they get out of the RV. She sees Dale's close call and the zombies that are beginning to freeze over. Soon, whilst driving, Donna and the rest of the group find the Wiltshire Estates, a gated neighbourhood. Donna and Alan search the houses and she complains about Andrea moping about. They decide just to stay in one house for a night and Donna raids the cupboards, finding all sorts of canned goods in there. She listens to Rick's mini speech and later is seen bringing Laurie and Rick blankets. Donna meets Tyrese in the hallway and asks him to hand out some of the blankets for her, and she formally welcomes him to the group. She goes to hand out some blankets to Dale and Andrea and catches them having sex. She tells Alan about it, and although she doesn't approve, she's happy for Andrea. They then go to bed and watch the snow melt. In the morning, Donna comments that Andrea and Dale being together gives her hope that they were lucky to bump into each other. Alan asks her if she wants to have sex and Billy asks what's sex. Donna tells Alan that answers your question. Rick gathers and instructs his group to clear the houses out and Donna thinks it'd be fun, but Alan tells her to be careful. She tells Alan he worries too much as a zombie approaches her and bites her face. Damn, brutal. More zombies come and devour her. Alan tries to save her, but he is pulled away by Tyrese. And Donna obviously never gets a burial because the group had to leave urgently. Very sad. R.I.P. Donna. In the TV show, Donna doesn't really appear. Well, I tell a lie. There is a character named Donna with a husband called Alan and a son called Ben. But she's hardly like the Donna in the comics. In fact, we don't really get to know her at all, as she's killed pretty quickly. You could also make the argument that Jackie fulfills Donna's role. Jackie takes care of Jim when he is dying, and also does laundry duty with the other women. However, Jackie's death is very different to Donna's. Donna was a nagging, judgmental character, but she wasn't a bad person. Sometimes she was annoying, but she came around near the end, and it was sad to see her go, especially considering they kinda made me like her. She was used as another example that danger lurks around every corner in this world, so it's pretty much what her character serves. So thanks for watching, tell me your thoughts on Donna, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, goodbye.